Hi crafty friends, I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to do something I don't normally do, which is putting together a one-page layout. And not only is it one page, but it's also one photo for this page. And I'm going to do this because I was cleaning up. I've been cleaning my craft room. Happens every year, friends. And I found this photo that is, this is my aunt, this is my mum, this is me. How cute am I? I didn't think that at the time, friends. I was about 13, I think. This is my little brother. That's my middle brother. So I'm the oldest, and these are my cousins. So for a couple of years, I think 3 or 4 years running, my mum and aunt took us kids over to another town nearby where we lived, and we had like a family photo. The dads were never in it, but we had a few of these. So I've got a few of these floating around. And so I thought I would scrapbook this one because I think this is the only big one I've got. And then I've actually got a series of little photos from different years. And I think I can, when I find those photos, I can make a companion page on this side with those photos. So I'm going to make this the hero, even though I haven't got the other photos yet. And I haven't got the other, well, I'm not building that story just yet, but I think this will be fine. So I thought I'm going to go a bit radical in my design. I'm going to matte this in black because I think that just works. I'm going to use, friends, I'm going to use the Perfectly Pears DSP simply because, well, it's got a lot of secret C in it, which is the darker tones. So it's not black, and I'm going to matte the photo in black. So I want something dark, but not black, basically. So I thought Painterly Pears goes really well. And I like this B side. So this is like a grid pattern. And you might be able to see my cousin Alex and my cousin Beck have like plaid patterns in their clothing. And I had a look at my plaid patterns and I didn't like any of them, but I think I can get away with doing this. We're just having fun today, friends. We're just having a look and seeing what works, but we're not actually going to be doing anything literal because I have cut apart this Painterly Pears and I'm using it a lot, can I say? And I hope I haven't really designed this page, so I'm doing it all as you see me here, and hopefully it'll turn out well. So first thing I'm going to do is measure the photo. So it's under 5. If I do a 5 1/4, hopefully this is a 7 inch. I don't know how long this video is going to go for, friends. So I do 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Let's see how that works out. Now, where did I put my trimmer? Here we go. I hope you're all having a nice summer here in Australia. I need to pull this out. I live in Melbourne, so I think that should tell you all about how my summer's going, friends. Crazy. Melbourne's not known for its wonderful consistent weather. For those of you who are watching from places outside Australia and you don't know, Melbourne is a bit like London's weather or the UK's weather. I spent a lot of time in the UK, and in fact I lived there for 10 years, and Melbourne reminds me a lot of the UK's summers. Okay, so this is a secret C base and the black goes really well. The reason why I needed to measure rather than sort of cut around it is because, can you see these uneven edges? I'm just going to trim this one so we don't have I think that's glue. I think this might have been in a frame at once upon a time, but there's an uneven edge there. But I'm not going to let it bother me, friends. Simply because this is a heritage photo. It's a vintage photo. Who knew that photos of my childhood is now considered vintage? But of course I'm old, so yes, that is the case. So we've got our base page, which is the Secret C. I'll show you what I was going to do, and I've decided against it. This is the, what is it called? Country Lace DSP. I think it's now retired, but I was going to sort of do a board, have that as my base page, and then do a border like this. But I decided against that. I've got this on hand just in case I want something else. So I'm keeping this on hand. But I've decided to do and use the Painterly Pears. So as you can see, crafty friends, the Painterly Pears DSP is really quite spectacular and stunning. And there is a pattern, I'm going to pull it out, that is like this. Can you see that? So it's got the pattern all around it, and then there's got white space in the middle. So what I did for another project was cut this in half, and so I was left with this bit. What am I going to do with that, friends? Well, I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. I fussy cut around the edges. Can you see that? So now, how did I... Oh, yes. Okay. So now I'm going to put that there. And then I also fussy cut around other bits and pieces. No, this way. And I'm just kind of going to, there we go. I'm going to create a little embellishment cluster kind of thing where my photo is just going to sit there. But I'm quite happy with that. So what I'm going to do is adhere this little kind of border, like a border, I guess you could say. I'll put more on that side. There we go. And this adhesive is actually good because you can lift it up. It doesn't adhere straight away. So there we go. The Stampin Up adhesive is great for card making because it is very, very sticky. It's not easily lifted up, and I find when you're making cards that's brilliant because you don't want your adhesive coming off. So I use that for my card making and for my scrapbooking when I'm always second guessing myself. I use this liftable adhesive. There we go. So I've got bits that are sort of organic, and I know that there are no pears in this, but I don't really care, friends. It's more of a suggestion. So how else are we going to build? What else are we going to do on this page? So I'm just playing around now, but I've got a piece of the what is it called, country lace. I might cut that off and see. So I thought, I found an old stamp set from my stash, and I've just stamped on the words cousin, mother, aunt, brother, family, and I've done that in a repeating pattern, and that can kind of, I'm thinking maybe that it might, oh yeah, that would be a good base. I've got some stamped sentiments here, so always use your stamp stash, friends. Always. You invest in them, you spend enough money, And so I really always use my stamp stash as much as possible. So I really like the Secret C. I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I'm kind of thinking that would be all right, actually. So you've sort of got your cluster up here, and then I'm going to build out, and then we've got these two. I really like this stamp set, and it really suits the layout, but it says this family is just one tent away from a full-blown circus. And I can tell you it really suits this layout, because my aunt, my beautiful Aunt Barb, she has the best sense of humor. You always laugh around her. She's always laughing, always joking. She has the best, funniest sayings, and yeah, so she would really enjoy this. She would go, yes, absolutely. So I would like to put that on there, but I'm not sure it's going to fit. So we'll leave that there for a moment. I can always put on that sentiment on another layout. And I need a good bit of journaling, because I have got quite a bit of journaling to say about these photos. I just don't want to do it when it's such a public area. Now, I'm kind of needing, this photo here is just kind of floating. It's not joined to this section here. So I need to put something underneath here that will kind of anchor it in. There we go, sort of like that. There we go. Now, is that the right one? Is that appropriate, friends? No, I'm not liking that. However, what's on the B side? Oh, no. No, friends. What about this one here? Yes, that's going to work. That's going to work. So that one I'm going to cut, and I'm going to cut it, I think, 8 by 8. 8 by 8. Let's start at 8 by 8. So instead of opening up the arm, I'm just going to cut off 4 inches, because because this is 12 by 12. If I take off 4 inches, then this square will be 8 by 8. Okay. And I'm kind of thinking, oh yeah, that is really good. Yep, I really like that. But do I need to ink the edges? Oh yeah, that's really good. I love that. Yep, yes, perfect. Do I need to ink the edges? Yes, I do. Let's ink the edges in Secret C, friends. Let's get your little sponge dauber. Open up Secret C. Pop it like this, and let's put a lot on, because you won't see the outside edge because it's actually on the cardstock, and it will actually just melt into the background. So I want to see this bit here. I want to see it on the cardstock, so I'm applying liberally. And sometimes I don't apply liberally. Sometimes it's very light. But for me today, it's suiting the purpose to actually really grungy it up. And it's sort of like a vintagey bohemian kind of page layout. That's sort of where I'm going with this idea. Sort of bohemian, that kind of thing, vintagey, sepia-y. Even though these colours aren't sepia, that's sort of where I want to go with that. Okay, I like that. Now, because if I put adhesive down the bottom here, it's going to be really hard to get in. So I'm just going to put a bit of adhesive on here. There we go. And I've just a little bit. I have just put, let's move that. I've just got a bit of adhesive on the edge. So I've got one of these rubbing erasers that takes off glue, and every crafter needs one of those, friends. Can you see, friends, that the ink is showing, but the edges actually melt into the paper now? It's not much of a defined edge. Now let's have a look and say, oh, that looks fantastic, friends. I'm really, really happy with that. How are we going with this? Yes, yep, I really like that as well. Awesome. I like that a lot. And then we've got that cluster up there. Now, do we need this? Because if we need this, yes. See, this one here goes with my jacket. Friends, that jacket, when I was little, oh my goodness, that was, my mum bought this little jacket and a skirt, and it was in kind of like, not felt, wasn't felt. I was sort of like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not into fabrics, so I have no idea what it was called, but it was just the most beautiful fabrics, and I just thought I was so fancy and so grown up for this photo shoot. Mum always bought us new clothes. We didn't always get new clothes, not like nowadays. But for these kind of photos, we always got new clothes. The boys got new clothes. I got new clothes. It was great. I loved it. Okay, there we go. I'm going to ink this. So this is, what is it called? Blackberry Bliss. It's one of my favorite colors, can I say, from Stampin' Up. These are Stampin' Up ink colors, and I absolutely love them. This one here is Pecan Pie. And that's a good neutral as well. It's good to have a few really neutral colors in your stash. Now what am I going to, no, I'm going to put this first. Oh, I've got to, okay, so I've got to adhere this down. So let's adhere this down, and I'm only going to put the adhesive in here, because this side is where I'm laying up the embellishment cluster. Okay, so then we kind of, oh, that looks fantastic. That is really, really, really brilliant. I love that. Yep, absolutely. I'm going to commit to that. I know that with this adhesive I can lift it up a little bit. Okay, so we want that, and now we want this. And this is where I'm going to journal. So I'm actually not going to have a dedicated journal spot. This is my journal. So I'm going to pop that there. I need to do something here with embellishments. I need to layer that, and I need to adhere these down. So I'm actually just going to put these down. So I've got 3 titles, but this is really my title. And these are sort of secondary ones. As you can see on this side, I tried, this is my second attempt. I always have trouble with what are they called, solid stamps. They go a bit, although I didn't on this one, I don't know why. There we go, photo memories. Ah, oh, that's really, really beautiful. So I'm actually, in this essence, just embellishing with stamps. And I may, what else? Oh, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, yeah, just stamps and DSP, and I'm going to get my little bowl of just, this is my to use pile. So I'm going to dig in from there as well. Not many, because I don't want too much. I don't want it to be too busy. But I feel like I need something here, but I want it to actually fit in. No. What about, yeah, that's a problem. I'm not happy with that. What about if I just put a pear there? Let's have a look. This one though, do we want this one? Or do we want the green one? You're all yelling at me at the moment because that's what I do when I watch videos. Like, no, go with that one. Go with the green one. Go with the red one. I like the red one. Let's have a look because I don't want to cover up too much. Should I maybe do this? Yes, I think so. And I just might grab a few little twigs and leaves from here and do it that way. There we go. And just sort of do a little bit of a like a leaf cluster. Oh, also, actually, let's just cut this up. I'm sort of thinking on the fly here. I've got a box of leaves. Who else has a box of leaves, friends? Is that a crafter's thing? I love leaves. Things like flowers, leaves, tags. I have a box of tags and I keep those on hand, and whenever I want something, when I want an embellishment, I go there first. I've got circles. Oh, actually, would a circle work? Let's have a look. I kind of am wedded to using just this DSP because it's so beautiful. I've hardly used this one. It was out, a couple of, maybe it was out in the winter time, like last year, mid last year. I can't remember, friends, when it was released by Stampin Up. I think you can still get it in my online store, which I will link in the comments. No, I'm not happy about that. But if I add, this is going to be, I'm not going to be happy with this. I can already tell I'm not happy with this. No, I'm not happy. See, I told you I wasn't going to be happy, and I don't know. Now I'm on camera and I'm freezing and I don't know what I'm doing. No. Now I'm kind of like, I'm panicking. What am I going to do? You're all going to think I'm an idiot. Okay, now, actually, there we go. So you panic and then it just all comes together. So I like that. And I kind of, yeah, there you go. Actually, that's really good because we've got the secret seed, then we've got grey, and Mark here has got a bit of grey, and Mum's top is kind of blue grey. That's going to work. There we go. See, Julie, no need to panic. We're amongst friends and there's no need to panic. There we go. So this one probably needs a bit of glue. And that kind of extends the DSP from the other side onto this side a little bit. There we go. Probably a bit heavy-handed on the glue, but that's all right. Oh, yes, I really like that. So now, what sort of embellishments do we want? I have so many in this little bowl. So I could have flowers. We could do a flower here. Let's have a look. I've got flowers, so I could do a flower there. Oh yeah, actually that looks really good. Wow. Who would have thought, huh? Do I need a bigger flower down there? I think I do, actually. So then we get the 3. We've got one here, and do I need a floral element down here? And where do I need it? Do I need it here? Should I put it there? No. should I put it there? Actually, that's all right. I could do that. I could do that. That would look good. Right, what I'm going to do is add these wooden embellishments that I've had forever. So I've got this little bowl, friends. I'll show you. And these are just full of embellishments that I would like to use up out of my stash. And I'm not allowed to dig into anything else until these are gone, unless I'm showing you how to use something up that Stampin' Up has. I'm not going to use any other embellishments on any project other than these. And when I'm crafting in front of the TV at night, I take that little bowl with me. So there's a little tip, friends. Put all of the little things into little bowls like that if you've got the room, and then you start using them. We want to use our stash, don't we? So we can buy new pretty products. And my next video, wow, friends, I've got a pretty new product that I have bought. Actually, I've got a few videos coming up with the new, that I've brought in a few new little things from the new releases. And yeah, you'll be happy, I think. There you go, friends. There's my one page. Now, this is my journal spot, and I'm going to do that a bit later. It's clean, but it's also pretty. And it's vintagey, and I'm really, really loving it. And I've used a lot of stuff from my stash, but this Perfectly Pears you can still buy from my online store, so I'll link that in the comments. And I've used a stamp set from my stash. I've used little embellishments from my stash. In fact, I've used 2 stamp sets from my stash, so that makes me happy too. So anyway, crafty friends, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. I have waffled on and taken a lot of your time, but I hope you've enjoyed this little process video. I hope you are finding time to craft in your busy lives, and until next time, crafty friends, happy crafting. Bye.